let another person contest. Must you be there? You must not be there.
When Aso Villa, being the head of the power, is not lying on solar panel, then
The government deceived us.
For not seeing light.
They are distributing what is not available.
Paid 5,000 for nothing.
The federal government's installation of a solar power system at Aso Villa is raising serious concerns about leadership, priorities, and the state of Nigeria's electricity sector. While officials say the move, reportedly worth about 17 billion naira, is aimed at ensuring stable power and reducing costs, many Nigerians are asking a deeper question. If the seat of power cannot rely on the national grid, what hope is there for the ordinary citizen? Concerning these developments, our correspondents took to the streets to hear directly from Nigerians. They were first asked about the electricity situation in their areas, and the response was overwhelming. Many described power supply as extremely poor, with some rating it at below 10%.
I think in the last 3 weeks, it's been like 10% over 10 over 100. That is the rate, it's been very, very poor.
Right now, where I stay now, in fact, I just pay, look at the bill. I have the bill here today. I just paid 5,000 for nothing, for not seeing light. But I just don't want them to disconnect me so that maybe when light comes, I just have to pay. You understand? And we have not been having light throughout. And many other places they have been complaining like that. So it's really, really disheartening.
They were then asked how they feel about the Aso Villa's transition into solar system, and their responses were that of grave disappointment, saying it defeats the purpose of leadership. You were elected to fix our problems for everyone, not just for yourself.
Fix solar panel. It's a defeatist principle that we are no longer able to do this thing. But you won't let another person contest. Must you be there? You must not be there. If you cannot do some of these basic things, then you should leave the premises, the presidential villa, for another person to try his best.
Another speaker sees it as an outright betrayal. People depend on the government for solutions, not abandonment, he disdainfully lamented.
Government is paying much attention on distribution. What are you distributing? You are distributing what is not available. So there should be emergency on generation, proper generation, just like Egypt is doing. About 50-something thousand megawatts. South Africa, 60-something thousand megawatts. And Nigeria is just galloping with 5,000, 6,000. And every time collapse of the grid is uncalled for. Let them decentralize the national grid, allow every state to generate their own electricity, have their own state grid, and give surplus to their neighboring states. So if national grid is for the masses, but the federal government is switching over to solar in Aso Villa, it means that they will not be aware when the grid collapses, and they will not be doing anything with emergency to make sure that there is availability of light. To me, it's betrayal of the people, because the people cannot on their own switch over to solar.
We have been deceived. They promise better electricity, but this shows they don't even trust their own system, another lamented.
The government deceived us now because ordinarily it does not go well as a government. The national grid that you say that we are preaching that all of us should join and should pay our NEPA bill, nobody should do their own correction and all that. Now you now disconnect yourself and now go fully off the national grid. That means you are now encouraging people who are still using the NEPA now. We don't use it again. We don't even trust the NEPA or the ADC that you want us to be using. Are you getting me? So now you're not telling that it's not even trustworthy, it's not safe, or it's not even efficient. So everybody can actually cut off it and just go do their normal thing and go their normal, find alternative way to it.
Lastly, the last speaker said, if the government is moving to another option, then there is no hope for the national grid, which mere citizens have to rely on.
when Aso Villa, being the head of the power, is not lying on solar panel, then that means the grid, national grid, can just stand. With that step they took, the nation cannot longer trust national grid.
These reactions reflect a growing frustration among citizens who continue to struggle with unreliable electricity, rising tariffs, and the high cost of alternative power. Across the country, households endure long blackout, while small businesses spend heavily on fuel just to survive. Yet, the same government urging patience is now creating a reliable power solution for itself, separate from the system millions depend on daily. For many, the message is clear and deeply troubling, because beyond electricity, this This moment speaks to something bigger. At a time when Nigerians are being asked to endure hardship in the name of reform, one question continues to echo. If the government cannot rely on the system it manages, why should the people? Because in the end, leadership is not just about finding solutions. It is about ensuring those solutions work for everyone.